Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with you. And we've got Daryl Owens Jr., founder of Crossover Academy, Daryl Elijah Owens, 10-year-old student at Stark State College and a student at Crossover Academy, and Anton Brown, a recent graduate of Crossover Academy. What a great mix here. We've got every single stage going on here. Yeah. Daryl, it's your plan to have every student at some point start taking college classes while they're students at Crossover.
Yes.
Why is that? That's an amazing idea.
Yeah, because, I don't know, like a lot of times when people hear about my son, you have people that are supportive, but you also have people who in the background you'll hear them say things like, well, you just need to let him be a kid. Yeah. Not really understanding that it's something he wants to do. And on top of that, it's something that he's equipped to do. But I truly believe that our students are very, very smart, very, very capable, and they need that challenge. So I want to put the students in a position to where they're challenged, and I want to walk them through the process. And then once they come out on the end, I truly believe that it'll build up their confidence, knowing that they were able to take a college class and succeed in doing that. And again, education is very important, and I'm also hoping that in the future it'll just put those thoughts in their mind to where they can go to college and not just go, but they can graduate.
Yes, it puts it on the radar.
Yes,
that this is a goal.
Definitely.
Unless someone introduces and makes it possible. It's like, see, this is very possible. Yes. Otherwise, it's not on your mind. Right. And you don't think about it. How do you know, Daryl, how someone is ready?
I take 1 year to evaluate where they're at. So I'm at Crossover, with the exception of math and reading, everybody is taught at a high school level. Some courses, if I'm being honest, I teach at a college level. So if they are able to succeed in doing that, it then lets me know that they're ready for the college courses. And I'm hoping that in taking the classes at Crossover, when it's time to actually take the college course, I'm hoping that they'll say to a certain extent, well, this is easy. We've done harder work at Crossover. But
I want to see the looks on their faces when you say, oh, this is easy. It was harder at Crossover. And have all those adults sitting around you going, what? Yeah, that will be so fun. Daryl Elijah, what is it about history that you like so much?
It just tells us where we came from, basically what happened before we came, or we actually came into this world. And my dad always says when he teaches us about history, he says history repeats itself. Yeah. So we need to learn what our history is, so that we can get prepared for the real world. And once that does actually repeat, we can be prepared for that and get ready for the time period that is about to.
So we don't make the same mistakes twice.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice to learn from the past so we don't have to repeat the past. Yes. Is there any particular time of history that you like to learn about more than any other? No?
No.
You like it all equally, huh? There are some times I just think, oh, it would be fun to live at that time. Is there any time you think it would be fun to live during?
The time where Jesus came around.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? That would be so amazing. Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I would love to see a miracle happening in front of my eyes. Wouldn't you love to be there?
I hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, my goodness. Or be standing right there when the resurrection took place. Yeah. Can you even fathom? That would be, was there a noise? I would love to know. So very, very cool. So you're going to be taking history, and remind me what else you're going to be taking. Speech. Oh, good. Well, I'm all about that one as well. Do you like speaking in public, or you like doing this kind of thing, or what is about speech that you like?
It's just been like, opportunities like this that I get to speak, or not even like this, just little things like in class when we have to do a speech just to get ready. And it's just like I've always not been scared to speak.
Yeah, because why? They're just people. Yeah, right.
He get that from his mom, because I didn't used to be like that.
You didn't? Well, you came around, didn't you?
Yeah,
My goodness.
slowly but surely.
Yes. Daryl, you've got to be incredibly proud of your son and of Anton here.
Very much so. Very much so. Definitely.
What's it like to know that you have this kind of influence on the next generation?
It's humbling. It's humbling because I believe that God has given everybody a purpose, and I know I was created to work with kids. I know I was created to be a father. So I don't take the job lightly, and I realize that I'm only in the position that I'm in because of the many, many people that helped me out along the way. So, it's again, it's humbling, and I don't get too caught up in the I and what, quote unquote, I've done, only because I know it's taken more than just me to do it.
It seems like what you've got going here is such a good thing that it could be repeated in other communities.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts about making Crossover Academy something that could be held in other places, or is that
definitely.
way down the road?
Definitely. I grew up in Barberton, so there's no place like home. So I would love for that to be the next place that we started a school. And then my wife is from Chillicothe, so I would love to be that to be the place after Barberton to start a school. So
nice. What are the requirements? How does a person get to attend? First
really,
of all, in Anton's case, your mom wants them to go.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot, honestly. We start with a conversation. I like to know kind of the perspective of the parents and the students, where they're coming from. I like for them to hear where I'm coming from. And if we are on one accord, then we can move forward. But I'm not really looking for anything specific. I'm not too caught up in whether they got in trouble or they weren't doing good academically in their old school. I honestly just want to help kids walk in purpose and help them to do that through education. So if everybody's on the same page with that, we can make it work.
Is there a cost involved?
No, it's tuition-free.
Tuition-free private education.
Correct.
How do you make that work? Who pays for this? And how can we help you fundraise?
There's a lot of community support is how it's paid for. Again, we're blessed to be at the Martin Center. We're blessed to have the support of 3rd Street Church. Again, a lot of other organizations that come alongside us to help us to do what we do.
Do you have any fundraisers coming up?
We don't. So we're so focused on the academic side that we don't really do fundraisers.
Hold on. I've never heard of a school that doesn't do fundraisers. And I'm talking including public school.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, honestly, just in the whole starting of the school, God has really opened doors and led us through. And even with the name Crossover, it's a Hebrew word that means simply to be different. So our way of thinking, the way we function, is just different. And again, I know a lot of places do focus on the fundraising and things like that, but I'm focused on kids walking in purpose, and God adds to that, and it works.
Man, I wish you could give that message to so many other places. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So what is in the future for Crossover? What would be next?
What is next is to keep doing what we're doing. I tell the families when they enroll, they're not really enrolling into a school, they're enrolling into a family. And I don't want to get too caught up on the pride of we have kids at a young age going to college, because that's nice. It's wonderful.
It's amazing.
I love it. But at the end of the day, I want to stay focused on there's a reason we're doing that. And the end goal is for us to walk in purpose, for us to love God, for us to love one another, build up the community. So that's why we're doing all of this. So what's next is for us to just staying grounded, staying focused on what God has called us to do.
Are you continuing to have class in the summer?
Yes and no. So throughout the summer, we try to stay active, but it's not technically us having class. We do little things here and there. My wife even more than I do. My wife and her class, they meet regularly. But no, it's not officially class until we start back in the fall.
Okay, and at what time are you going to start back up again?
We start this year, we start August 12th. We were scheduled to start August 5th. Me and my wife, we had our 5th child.
Oh, congratulations.
16 days ago, 16 days ago, yes.
You look pretty well rested considering.
Yeah, my wife's the MVP, it's not me. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so she's the one that's carrying the load. So I'm rested because she's working hard. So
so August 12th, still
so August 12th,
rather early in the summer.
Yeah.
What's it like to basically spend August back in school? But I'll tell you, there's less summer slide. You don't lose as much if you start in earlier. Yeah. How was that, Anton? I mean, you went last summer, right?
Yeah.
You went last August.
Yeah.
Anton didn't want to go back. Being honest.
You were having too much fun.
Yeah, I was having too much fun, man.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
But
I don't want to go away with these people, man. I mean, like,
What would you tell people who are considering crossover, Anton, for kids who maybe their parents want them to go and they're kind of hesitant about it? What would you say to them?
so definitely they should go because basically lead them to a better future. If you want your son to be like Daryl, basically you gotta have to be around him. You got to bring your son around him long enough to actually become mature, just like him. Yeah.
Awesome. Daryl, Elijah, what's it like having your dad be in charge? Is that okay?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Before the school started, I was still doing work like this, but I wasn't in college or doing the work that we do at Crossover. And before, I wasn't really like as popular as I am now because it was just all him. The reason that I was being noticed is because of him. Like,
oh, and now you're just you. Yeah,
he
you're
loves
cool.
that.
You're cool all on your own.
He loves that.
That's right. What would you say to a young person who is thinking, I would love to go to college early? What words of advice, now that you've been doing this for a little while, what words of advice would you have to somebody? Anything yet?
don't just think it's going to be easy, but don't think it's just going to be super hard, like you're going to have to sit down, do work all day, every day. Yes, it is hard, but
it's doable?
it's doable, definitely.
Good.
And you have to just not sit around all day. Yes, you know you have to do work, but don't sit down for an hour a day doing work. Then at the last minute, like I do, you sit down, have to do all this work, and it's just not worth it because you can do it daily and it'd be way easier.
A little bit at a time. Yeah. Oh, I heard somebody say that. How do you can't eat a whole bunch of grapes. You can't just sit there and cram a whole bunch of grapes in your mouth, but you can eat them one at a time. That definitely takes care of it. Oh, my goodness. Well, I knew this was going to go too fast. Daryl Owens Jr., Daryl Elijah, Anton Brown, thank you so much for visiting us on our community.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.